Greetings, everyone. This is Joanna from the Sacred Corner, Universal Love and Light Wisdom and Heavenly Radiance. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we wanted to talk about the celebrations and joy that we can each choose, if we so desire, to tap into and to become and to unfold within. It's been a profound couple of days for me. This time of year is always a profound shift for me. The Easter weekends are always really profound. Um, and what we wanted to talk about and bring forward is a few experiences and honorings of energy and what entered the sacred, living sacredly, and honoring the sacred way that we commune with one another in sacred space, coming together sacredly, awakening the sacredness in all things, which is why one of my passions to bring forward any and all of my teachings was to bring forward the remembrance of who we are as source, the remembrance of Christic omnipresent beings, and to begin living sacredly, begin living within the vibration of sacredness in all moments. And the teams just before coming on wanted to talk about also the blessings of joy in all moments and all things, which is a celebration that we can each choose to partake in. But we wanted to talk about energy, the energy is moving through the planet. Yesterday I was feeling quite, with the particular Jupiter, these celestial alignments that's going on right now, Jupiter, Uranus, Mercury, and Pluto, really big planets that are circling and inspiring us to really let go of those aspects that are seeking our change and our acknowledgement for change. Of course, Jupiter being the father of the sky, the biggest planet that we have to activate change, inspire change, and of course Uranus as well. So these energies are inspiring us to, as a soul being, to take on those energies of grand and profound, prolific changes for who we truly are as love. And so yesterday was an activation that I felt more like a release. Many empaths and crystallines are feeling the dynamic mastery that we have to come forward with and manage our bodies and our emotions in a much more profound way, because we're feeling the healings and the releases of processing many of the emotional burdens that many can't process and understand. Those that are awakened understand that we're processing not only our own karmic stuff, but the collectives, knowing that it's all ours because we're all one. They're reflections of who we are within one another and all of our karmic energies that we're all here to heal and tap into. But what we wanted to also express about that is the opportunity that we always have in all moments to perceive sacredness, love, and joy, regardless of what is moving within the planet collective and what we're here to allow to unfold, and shift within the paradigm of, okay, well, how can I move within my higher truth, my authentic truth, my sacredness, from what I'm feeling within me, regardless of what you're being told or fed. And to know that you can shift the perspective into joy, into love, and really release the notion that you have to carry on the fears or whatever it is that the collective is moving through. And that takes mastery. It takes your acknowledgement to say, okay, I need to take a break and I need to do some clearing, or just sit with Gaia and just process and clear your energy fields a lot more. Have the children get up and play and dance and be playful more, moving their bodies, activating the vagus nerve, and moving their bodies and getting the energy, and just having them intend to release the giblies, I say. And that all really helps. And being playful, activating love in all the moments that you feel desired to. And I wrote a little tiny, really quick little post. And there was also our latest video online is about the profundity of the soulmate relationship and what that really means in profound transition times like we're sitting within, and how it is not only allowing the evolutionary potentials of this individual aspect and soul perspective, but the entire collective and galactic and universal energies as well, and why they come to us in such design and synchronicity. Those chance meetings and those divine synchronistic alignments come from the soul's calling, that heart's calling for your soulmate, your soul tribe that you put out through your intentions, through your soul communion with your tribe and your higher self and your soul. And then the teams and the higher selves and the souls begin working on threading those within, because those are contracts that are set up before we each come here. And within those contracts, saying that, in the chance that we're moving through our awakening and at the right time, I want my soul to call you in so that we can harmonize and move within a higher perspective of potentials of love and joy with one another. And so those are all kind of predestined and pre-designed, that our souls and our aspects are calling in to allow us to experience greater love and greater joy. Because oftentimes too, if we do not, especially with what we're moving through in this quarantine, it's a little bit more challenging, because when the soul awakens to a certain perspective and the Kundalini has risen, if you will, or wants to keep rising, and the Adam, Eve, end-time particles are activating that Kundalini, those DNA activations and all of those things that partake within that next elevatory perspective of higher self. We're constantly harmonizing with our higher self. That's what ascension is, allowing the higher bodies to come down and the lower bodies to rise up, being in that lower and higher harmonization of the I am presence. And so what that does is it allows us to constantly harmonize with our higher self aspects, harmonizing our soul fragments, harmonizing and healing the collective, harmonizing and healing the family's energies and our community's energies. And it's a constant harmonization and clearing, having to realign every moment, as often as we're allowing ourselves to remember. But those community and those soul tribe relationships really assist in those profound, dynamic, evolutionary shifts and changes for vibrational speaking, but also within the community. And also too, for us, I mean, the perspective from sources, point of view, it's not only from the evolutionary ascension perspective that we've just explained, but it's also for us to remember that we're here to be love. We're here to not hold back in love, to allow ourselves to be the expression of love, to be the blessing of joy in all moments with those that we have those vibratory alignments with, that we can fall in unconditional trust and unconditional love. And those relationships come to us at a time where both have done the clearing and both have done the harmonization to allow one another that unconditionality of expansive growth, that unconditionality of releasing expectations, of having that soul, that soulmate experience, and those many lifetimes that you have lived together to come together for a true harmonization and experience of new love at an earthly level, harmonizing in the heavenly energies that you're both there to experience and explore and express. But what we also wanted to talk about was the soulmate energy, and how many of the soulmate energies are also those that are also within our tribe, coming together to co-create and to entangle and begin to experience really great expression in new ways of mingling and creating blessings of joy in our communities. And so there will be lots of shifts that one will feel oneself move through. So have that be okay. If you're feeling the awakening and the urging, and you're paying attention to more of the idiosyncrasies and the movings of the relationships around you, that's meant to occur. Because it allows you to truly come forward with, okay, what's working and what's not working. Am I honoring myself in this relationship? And in all relationships, how can it become more sacred? And having those open conversations and how we're healing all relationships at the fundamental level. And we offered this in our radio show well over maybe a year and a half ago, that this phase of what we're in right now is healing the relationships at every level, multiculturally, societal, within our families and within ourselves, because it always begins within ourselves first. And knowing that your soul love is with you first, and honoring that acceptance of who you are as a soul, why we go through the healings that we go through. And what we also wanted to offer in that respect, the understanding of soulmate and soul relationships, and how relationships are shifting and changing, and allowing you those opportunities to question, and how your dream times allow you to open into creating those discussions that allow you to realign where your soul is desiring you to move to. And what we also wanted to discuss, which I don't think we have, because those that usually listen to us have been with us for a while, but those of you that are new to our offerings, We do offer the Christic vibration through our offering, through our intentions. So that means the many heavenly councils that we channel and that we move with. It's all a soup of Source Creator. And so there may, especially with our sound activations, our light activations, if you're ever moving through an experience in listening to any of our offerings that allow those energies to come forward, that allow you to feel any discomfort, any awkwardness, or even sometimes fear or defensiveness, any type of those emotions that are not joyful and pleasurable, allow yourself to just allow those to move, because those sound activations in the light language bring forward those densities and those blocks that want to be resolved. And so that's why they feel the way that they do. So in many of the activations, doesn't matter who you're listening to, there will be the vibratory alignments and the activations within all that you are, whether it's a DNA, your fields, or a belief from ancient lifetimes. That's your Akash and your lineage, that you're here to heal. So just know that that's a normal and it's a normal process. So be gentle with yourself and just allow the energy to move. When you're done the audio listening, go back, and you can tell my throat is starting to clear. Go back to your reflection notes and say, why did I feel this when this came forward? What was I feeling? And then wait for your higher self and your soul to bring forward the informations, because it might be an ancient activation that allows you to see yourself in a higher truth. And that's what the light language and the sacred sounds allow you to resolve and move within, is a deeper truth. The deeper truth that you are love, that you are light, that you are eternal and infinite, and you're multidimensional and expansive as the highest holy being that you are. And why oftentimes we feel the way that we do, whether it's through the collective healing, the collective transmutation of dense energies that are multidimensional, multigalactic, multiplanetary, multiform. We're healing so much. So be gentle with yourself and create that daily self-care. Why did I feel that energy of discomfort or frustration or anger or agitation? So just go within and allow those energies to come forward and clear them, and just say, I'm opening to clear this energy that I felt uncomfortable. What was that discomfort, and what did it mean for me? How can I move past it in unconditional love for who I am? And that's what the light language and the sacred sounds do. It cuts through the density and the blocks that you hold within yourself, whether it's a belief from an ancient timeline, that you weren't safe to hold that sacred movement of sound and light language. There's been many timelines where light language was suppressed because there was many belief patterns that were fearful of what they didn't understand, or that it kept us in alignment with our higher celestial universal families and bodies. And so those can be activated in any of the sacred sound and light language offerings. So just know that as well. And just go within again. Use those opportunities as your ability to say, okay, well, this is something that, and that goes for any moment in life, really. Why was I feeling what I'm feeling? I want to move through this, because you're stating that intent. I intend to move through this discomfort. Show me what I need to know. Just a simple statement like that sits and allows yourself and your soul and your higher self to bring forward the information you need to bring that into love and forgive it. And it's not necessarily what you're feeling about what's being offered. It's about the vibration that just got cleared and cleansed. And you're seeing a truth of yourself for you to recognize. My truth is that I do recognize light language, and it is okay for me to partake in this. Whereas perhaps in another lifetime you had a confinement because you use light language. So just allow, you don't necessarily have to know the timeline. Just again, connect, or the story. Just connect with the emotion. What emotion was I feeling? And this goes for anything in your day-to-day life. And that's how we do clearing. That allows you to feel what it needs to be felt, acknowledge it, forgive it, give it compassion and love, and then it's transmuted. That's that infinity of transmutation. What did I feel? What is it connected with in my day-to-day life? Is it my fear of trying something new? Is it my fear of the light language I want to start speaking? Is it my lack of self because I want to try it, but I'm not quite sure? Those were some of my experiences, that I knew that all of these energies and these symbols, I called them packets of information. They were just like little tiny, quantum, little tiny squares that were just deposited in my field, and I could feel them. And they would just come to activation when either I was talking to a client or doing a private reading or on my radio show. And they would just come to activate, and I could feel them. Sometimes when I have the information come in, it comes in from different perspectives or vibrations so that I can know where it's coming from and how it's coming from. Oftentimes it doesn't necessarily matter unless I'm reading and I see it in Akash. So then I can say that's an Akashic healing, which is clearing. Other times it's you're like your teams when we're doing these communions, these sacred communions, these sacred gatherings, when you sit and intend, I'm going to sacredly gather with the sacred corner. You're setting the intention just like I do when I sit down, my body starts clearing automatically. This is how the quantum field of the source that you are begins to operate benevolently for you, because you have intended it 10 times before, and it just starts partaking within the benevolent resonance of your intention, your movement of source. And so when you're sitting down to commune sacredly, then your teams and your highest beings of your benevolence become active, because it's your regular communion with source. It's your regular communion of joy and blessings and love, and seeing that infinite blessing of who you are in all moments of source, the language, the fluidity of source. And then it becomes this fluid interplay. And if you do so, and I recommend this just for those that are newly awakened or want that higher communion connection with their teams and source creator within the fields of the all. You see, I'm already starting to clear. And so these are just the benevolent interactions of the source field within and without. So if you do it at certain times of your day regularly, without missing, really commit and devote yourself to that self-care, then you will see these experiences very rapidly, because especially with the energies that we're sitting within, and you'll see that your clear intention, why did I feel this discomfort in this experience? I used to have them when I was with different, social environments, and they were showing me the Akashic connections that I had with them and why I was healing what I was healing with them, or why I was feeling those insecurities, because I was needed to stand in my truth and say, no, this is how I feel. So this is where the paradigm of these fast moving, accelerated energies, you can really understand the field of the benevolence that you're existing within and how to truly allow it to work with you and for you. And understand that when you intend and activate that to come forward, you are this beautiful paradigm of liquid source. And it will come forward, and your teams are working with you, and all of these beautiful benevolent beings that will download information when it's needed. And then you call upon it. Can I call upon that inheritance from that timeline so that I can stand in my truth with that courage and that strength, without having to feel like I'm constantly battling the negative energy patterns. And so that is the benevolent system that is source that we all work within. We have the innate body. The innate body sends out it's like the motherboard that works with us within the field. So if we're not aware of what we're operating at, and we're not intending from the core level, I intend love today. I intend my highest joyful play today with nature. I'm intending, I want my teams to assist me in creating synchronicities of magic with nature. I want to see a beautiful owl today, whatever it is. Then that motherboard just brings to it those random thought patterns that we keep randomly playing. Oftentimes it will also synchronize with your teams and your soul to assist you in those heart palpitations that you really ache for true love. Then that motherboard will take that. But it works much better, as you can see, because every time that we come on for these sacred communions, my body just knows what to do. That's the motherboard saying that when I sit down to sacredly commune, I would like to activate my highest potential. I would like to activate my highest teams coming through. I would like to activate the highest DNA activation. I would like to activate the highest clearing for my chakras and my fields and my bodies. So set these intentions for you working within these benevolent fields that are always willing to interact and play and clear and heal with you. It's just a matter of, we've never been told that we have this innate ability to fluidically move in and out of dimensions and frequencies. So knowing that you have that power, and knowing that you're able to work with that as source, your intention for benevolent communion and play as life, as love, your whole world just shifts and changes. You're no longer questioning yourself. So we wanted to explain that, because oftentimes everything that we offer is on a multidimensional vibrational frequency. There's many vibrational stories that go into what we offer. They're offered from the whole vibrational package of all that I am, from my divine sacred heart, the teams that come with me and the teams that come with each and every one of us within the sacred field of source. And so sitting with that clear intention to receive what is in your highest and in your best, you will always receive your highest and your best, always, because that's light language and sacred sound. If, again, something comes up that feels discomfort, a frequency or an emotion, then just sit with it and allow that to work through you. And oftentimes it's a clearing that needed to be acknowledged. That's most often what comes out, because there's especially with light language and various sound frequencies, the sound frequency that I come with is it's yes, multidimensional, but it comes and it connects with all aspects of our frequencies of heaven and earth. And what I was shown yesterday is, the first time I've seen this, and those of you that watched our show the other day, I was in the middle of speaking in a video and I had seen something for the first time that I'd never seen before. And sometimes this happens, but because they're doing activations on my crown, on my third eye, and my DNA, everything is changing for me on how I can interact as source with source, so that I'm able to explain and able to heal and able to call in the energies required to assist in templating the 5D reality, along with many other things. But what I was seeing is, I was seeing the field, the liquid Christed field of Gaia, the energy fields of Gaia, and the energy fields of the heaven. And as the conduit, as each and every one of us are, we are the bridge of ascension. We bring the heavens to earth through all that we are by that open vessel of love, expressing love and being joyful and loving. But what I was being shown is that I was in this quantum movement of, it's just like a beautiful river, soft flowing river of sound and light and threads of vibration. And through the sounds, I was with source, calling in certain threads and then, so it was like a weaving, if you will. And so that is, which I've known to a certain degree, but I saw it in a different way than I'd ever seen it before, which allowed me to understand the importance of the vibrational offerings through sound and sacredness. Our intention to play with source, our intention to co-create with source and play and sacred childlike, honor, and that reverence of childlike excitement and curiosity. And so just know that that's the very sacred, experiences that will activate you to see your sacred truth, to feel your sacred truth, to get to feel into the vibrations that, if it's discomfort, just allow it to move through you, or a question, or that excitement. I'm really excited to learn about sound and practice sound in different ways, especially with nature. Because there's fields of activation that we are here as we clear that throat chakra. Throat chakra is that soulful embodiment to share source, to be source, to create that joyful blessing. And they're vibrational fields, and you can practice, as we showed you before, to create that 5D space and send it. If you do that daily, again, at certain times, daily, as a ritual, as a communion, as a sacred practice, your room will be vibrating with those intentions to fill it again and co-create. And it will be that entanglement of you changing, and you'll see things shift within you as you perceive things, because you're always amplifying that vibration of sacred joy and sacred play. And so, so we just wanted to, to offer that. And then we also wanted to do a quick little card pull on the Denise Lynn Sacred Destiny. because we are each walking into our sacred destiny. And how we do that is by challenging ourselves softly, and sometimes, adventurously, challenging ourselves to create in new ways, to truly step outside the box, get into your uncomfortable zone, and allow yourself to bring forward whatever needs to be brought forward. Because we cannot continue in the way that we've always continued. It's just not, that's not how enlightenment and ascension works. What we also wanted to mention too, that's come up the last couple of days, because we are accelerating, and those that are moving through the awakening process, it is really important, especially in these big energies, especially celestial alignments like the Uranus and the Jupiter energies we've got right now. And the celestial alignments like equinoxes and summer solstice, and those, the big Lion's Gate, we've always talked about those. But it's really important to move your body, get your body moving. We're going to be offering some movement. We've showed you a couple of times how to work with your field. But what it does as well, which I was shown yesterday, part of the immensity of what I was feeling yesterday, not only the collective emotional release and working through those energies, was that it's important to work the body in a more constant way, like 2 or 3 times a day, to honor the movement of the energy. Because as we accelerate, the energy has to move through us. And what else that's been I've been noticing, because my gifts and my passions are expression of source, creator, expression of the light programs, expression of light. They're just flying everywhere here. So all of the energies that I feel are, as I've said many times, in my jaws and my throat. And so I'll wake up, or at the end of the day, I'll just feel this huge tension in and around my jaw because I haven't done enough singing. So as you activate more and more energy, the Christic energy that's moving through your bodies, we're also being amplified from Gaia. She's also being amplified in her frequencies, which means that we'll have to move the energy through our bodies in ways that can allow us that fluidity of movement. So that means, giving yourself that time, and pay attention to where you feel tense. Give yourself time to feel, my favorite cards. Give yourself time to feel where you feel that tension, that buildup, because that will allow you to say that this is where my gifts are. When you feel that most of that tension, because you're meant to be expressing. That's my teams had shown me a few weeks ago. I'm going to bring out those 3. A few weeks ago, they showed me, we just talked about that, taking risks, going outside your comfort zone, so that you can soar, and see the higher perspective of everything that you're meant to see and experience. So just understanding yourself as a multidimensional being, and how energy is meant to live through you and be processed through you. Suppressing the light, suppressing who you are as an expressive being, creates illness and imbalance in every way. And this is why we are healing all that we are, the individual and the relationship within thyself, source creator, all that we are is spirit, the relationship with spirit, the relationship with Gaia, the relationship with everything else, bringing everything into balance. And that's how we express it. That's how we become more in balance, by having those relationships that we can be fully expressive, we can feel fully vulnerable and creative and inspired, and expressing it. That expression is so important to maintain the balance and the wellness, because that's the foundation that all, trees of life are built on, is the expression and the acceptance and the allowance of all that we are as Christic beings. And that suppression creates imbalances everywhere. The darkness and the Archangel Michael has been working on me so much of my throat, because I've held so many lifetimes of suppression and creation, of not sharing my Christic voice, and not sharing the teachings that I know, not sharing the voice and what I can see around me, even though others might not be able to see or understand. But those are allowing others to see the beauty and the perfection of Source in all things. Whether you're ready or not to see it, that's okay. Whether you're excited to see it, that's okay too. But we must express our excitement for being who we are and not hold back or suppress ourselves in any way because of what we fear might be judged or perceived around us as not ready, or, thinking we're crazy, whatever it might be, because those are judgmental energies that keep us suppressed as beings that never evolve. And that's why much of the clearing that I've had, in my throat have been, just pulling out all of the darkness, the darkness, just pulling it out, because it does become blocked and shadowed. It's just like that dirty window. Those chakras spin slower with the blockage, energetic blockage that we hold. Those energetic blockages can be anything. They can be brought from lifetime to lifetime of themes, the communication theme, the expression theme, whatever theme you're here to transcend, you'll see it in your everyday life. And those are exactly why you're here, to feel what you feel and move through it, so that those can be cleared. Bring them up and allow them to come forward and say, okay, why was I feeling what I was feeling? This, let's clear this. Let's face it. You can only clear it if you're facing it and allowing it to show you your truth, your higher truth. And with the higher truth, again, what we were talking about is purification. And the sunflowers is one of my favorite flowers. It's always been a favorite flower of mine, because it allows us to see that in our oneness, we see the truth of who we are, which is what that clearing of the collective. The clearing of the collective right now is they're going through so much fear and so much uncertainty and instability. But each and every one of us that is the seed of the sunflower we're all working through those fears in those lifetimes where we've held those similar beliefs and attitudes. And now that we have the strength through our own processing and through our own work, that we're here to help all others, because we're all one in a field, in a galaxy, in an omnipresence of all that is, and we affect the all. So interplaying as love, co-creating as love, sharing love, being love, as often in every moment, surrender to love. It's my team said to me this morning, no matter how afraid or challenging or outside the box something might seem, surrender to love in every moment. And that's the commitment you have to yourself, as living as love, to express yourself as love and to feel yourself as love. And in time, those fears will just diminish, because love, that excitement for joy and that excitement to express love and be love will supersede that fear, And so that's the purification. And we see, I just wanted to mention that we see the little rain, the beautiful spirals of Source Creator bathing us when we call it in. I call for my fields and bodies to be bathed with the highest Christic light, to bathe any energies and blocks, any imprints, any absorption that I've taken on from others, to be released and cleansed now. And you're being bathed with the Christic light, and just bathe yourself. Honor yourself and move your body and nurture your bodies and your fields. The next one that came out was abundance. And the story of this is knowing that there is abundance in all ways, in all forms. So you're abundant with your time. You're abundant with your ability to express your creativity in all the ways that you can. Your abundance to share it and to experience it in all the ways that you can. You might want to experience the little mountain peak there on a hike one day, and you might want to just lay on the grass and just look up at the clouds as they pass by. So whatever it is, there is abundance of blessings in all moments. There is abundance of joy in all moments, because Source is all things, and we are too. So allow yourself to know that abundance is within all things, that you are the abundance of joy in all moments. And you can simply surrender. All that you are is surrender. I surrender all that I am as joy right now. And I release all else. Doing that often enough, over and over and over enough, re-entrains your mind patterns, because we're dropping the mind to the heart, I'm going through a big one like that right now. Is really focusing heart-centered presence, moment for moment presence. And what comes up in juxtaposition? Focus. Focus is your heart, mind, and harmonization, so that the higher self, the higher aspect of who you are as Source, harmonizing with the soul and the heart of all that you are, that will, the tiger is that will power, that masculine will. And the beautiful energies that are floating in and around and all about you as your soul, to really focus on that intention. What is your intention? My intention is to live as love today, and I let go of all else. No matter what's being done in the collective, no matter, especially for those, the empaths where we can feel everything, you know, is to really focus moment for moment on love and bringing greater love and joy and happiness in through our expressive gifts. And that focus is done with the heart-mind harmonization, not with the mind running and playing games and the ego just overwhelming your entire world where you're just exhausted at the end of the day. And so what we wanted to do is offer a beautiful sound activation for the blessings of joy. And we see the little Buddha in there in prayer. And so just bring yourself to your grounding and just open up your chakras through your intention. I open up my chakras. I call in the highest benevolent beings of holy light. I call in the highest benevolent beings that serve me in my highest and in my best today, because you might have different teams and beings working with you each day based on, what you're clearing and what you want to work on and what you want to call in. And we call forward Lord Michael to honor and protect this space from above, below, and all four corners, the purity of our intention, to allow ourselves to align in the highest frequency of the Christic light, the sovereign light that we are as divine holy beings of multi-omnipresent energies. We allow our divine sacred hearts to open and harmonize in this collective communion, honoring that when we meet, it is sacred, honoring that our intentions to co-create peace on earth, harmony on earth, and the joy and the happiness of all that we are as Christic beings, to allow all that we are to be the surrender of love, the surrender of joy in all moments, and our intention to be love, our intention to play as love, our intention to explore and express and experience all that we are as love. And as all of our consciousness drops to our calling all of our focus back, all of our power that we've given away or left behind, the worries and all the fears, we're calling all of that energy back. Because right now it's just time to receive. Right now it's just time to activate. Right now it's just time to receive in healing and in love. We drop all that we are as a consciousness being down to our divine sacred heart. And we ask our ego to observe. Ego, we wish for you only to observe at this point in time. And we know that we are protected by the heavenly golden and silver veil through the Holy Mother and the Holy Father protecting us in all moments. That only those beings of our highest frequencies and our highest clearing angels and our highest activation beings and our celestial teams, our souls and our guides, and the Holy Lord Michael protecting us with a blue electric veil of holy light, allowing us to be fully aligned with our Christic divine being of source light. Our source alignment, we always want to be aligned with source. I am aligned, your intention, I am aligned with source. Simple alignment affirmation. I am aligned with the purity of source. I am aligned with my highest intention. I am aligned with my destiny, my highest calling. I am aligned to seek and to find and to experience and to explore and express miracles and magic and the blessings that is joy. I allow myself to open to the majesty that is source, that is love in all moments. I intend to allow myself to be the open vessel of love through which I can express love, and I can be joyful expressing love. I open to the wisdoms, to the intelligence, to the clearing, and to the similitude that is source, that is love. So harmonizing yourself in similar energies as the source has always designed you to be, through your acknowledgement, through your intention, your pure will, the purity of my heart, my whole body, my whole mind, my whole spirit and soul, all that I am as a divine being of holy light. I activate all that I am as a vessel of joy, as a vessel of love, so that in all moments I surrender to love. I realign in love. I allow myself to be the vibration, particle, molecule, atom, all that I am, my inner, my outer, all that I am, my intention, all that I am is opened in divine and sacred love. I open my heart and I allow my fields to be activated, to be moved, to be shifted, to be aligned with my highest frequency through sacred sound and my sacred intention to honor this sacred light, to honor the movement that my teams are offering me, that source is moving from within. And I offer source to come forward. I offer the holy frequencies to come forward that live through me, my soul and my spirit to show me how I can move with sound and light. the embodiment of love, the embodiment of joy, and honor and call all those beautiful sacred energies in. I activate a new version of me. I activate a beautiful, blessed version of me. I activate the joyful version of me. I allow myself to come forward and shine. I allow myself to be joyful. I give myself permission to be the blessing of joy today. I give myself permission to be at one in all moments with Source today, in all moments as love and joy, happiness. Well, we honor you, dear lighted ones, and we thank you for always joining us here in the Sacred Corner. Namaste. Be joyful. You are.